has as she's a narcissist, like an actual diagnosed narcissist. Blake Lively fears profound.
The unfolding drama surrounding Blake Lively has morphed into one of the most jaw-dropping Hollywood scandals in recent memory, a saga so tangled with lawsuits, counterclaims, and mental health revelations that it's left fans, critics, and industry insiders scrambling to separate fact from fiction. What started as a seemingly straightforward creative collaboration on the film It Ends With Us has spiraled into a legal and public relations nightmare, pitting Lively against director Justin Baldoni in a clash that's now ballooned to include a $400 million countersuit, allegations of bullying and defamation, and a last-minute bombshell about Lively's supposed profound mental health issues. The timing of that claim, dropped by her legal team just as public sentiment seemed to turn against her, has sparked fierce debate. Is Blake Lively the victim of a ruthless Hollywood takedown, or is she the architect of her own undoing, now cloaking herself in mental health struggles to dodge accountability? This isn't just a petty celebrity spat playing out in the tabloids. It's a full-blown war, complete with strategic maneuvers, high-stakes legal filings, and a public relations meltdown that shredded the once pristine image Lively spent years cultivating. The entertainment world is split down the middle, with social media ablaze, gossip columns churning out fresh headlines daily, and even the cushy executive suites of Tinseltown buzzing with speculation. At the heart of it all is a single question that refuses to go away. What's really going on with Blake Lively? Rumors of narcissism, personality disorders, and even comparisons to Amber Heard's infamous legal battles have only fueled the fire, while the involvement of her husband, Ryan Reynolds, has added another layer of intrigue. And then there's the wild card, Lively's new crisis PR manager, a man with ties to the CIA, suggesting this isn't just a Hollywood scandal, but a masterclass in narrative control. Let's rewind to where it all began. It Ends With Us was supposed to be a triumph, a box office hit pairing Lively, a beloved star known for her charm and style, with Baldoni, a rising director coming off the success of Jane the Virgin. The film, an adaptation of a popular novel, had all the makings of a dream project. Fans were thrilled to see Lively sink her teeth into a dramatic role reminiscent of her Gossip Girl heyday, while Baldoni's reputation for heartfelt storytelling made him an ideal fit. On paper, it was a match made in Hollywood heaven. Behind the scenes, though, it was a different story, a toxic mess that unraveled into something straight out of a blockbuster thriller. The first shot was fired in late 2024 when Lively filed a lawsuit against Baldoni, accusing him of sexual harassment and workplace retaliation. Her claims painted a grim picture: intimidation, backhanded comments about her appearance, and a hostile environment that she said escalated from minor creative disagreements into systemic bullying. According to her legal team, what began as a tussle over script notes morphed into a nightmare that left her feeling cornered and undermined at every turn. It was a shocking accusation, one that threatened to dismantle Baldoni's carefully built reputation as a sensitive, actor-friendly director. But Baldoni didn't take it lying down. He hit back with a staggering $400 million defamation countersuit, alleging that Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds had concocted a deliberate scheme to ruin him. The countersuit claimed the power couple aimed to sabotage his directorial career and tank the film's prospects, dragging Reynolds, typically seen as Hollywood's affable golden boy, into the fray. What followed was a spectacular implosion. The press tour was scrapped, promotional efforts evaporated, and any chance of a civil resolution vanished. The film, once poised for success, became collateral damage in a battle that was now about far more than creative differences. It was about survival in the cutthroat world of celebrity branding. Lively's lawsuit didn't just target Baldoni's alleged misconduct. It spun a narrative that he'd actively worked to tarnish her image through a calculated smear campaign. Legal filings suggested he'd teamed up with crisis communication firms to feed negative stories to gossip sites, painting her as difficult, unstable, and emotionally erratic. If you were tuned into entertainment news around that time, you might have noticed the sudden deluge of articles, TMZ dissecting her every move, anonymous insiders whispering about on-set tantrums, and a steady drip of rumors that she was a diva behind closed doors. Before her lawsuit even hit the courts, the groundwork was laid. Blake Lively, the wholesome star of The Age of Adeline, was being recast as a Hollywood villain. Baldoni's team, however, had their own version of events. They accused Lively and Reynolds of running a parallel campaign to destroy him, complete with whispers of affairs, hush money, and ND as he'd supposedly used to silence dissenters. The dueling narratives turned into a PR slugfest, with each side enlisting publicists and sympathetic journalists to lob accusations across the internet. Gossip bloggers became kingmakers, wielding more influence over the star's fates than any official statement. One day, you'd wake up to tweets about Lively's alleged meltdowns. The next, Baldoni was the scheming mastermind. The sheer volume of conflicting claims made it impossible to pin down the truth, leaving fans to pick sides based on scraps of hearsay. Just as the tide seemed to turn decisively against Lively, her difficult label sticking like glue, her legal team pulled a dramatic twist from their sleeve. In a new filing, they revealed she's grappling with profound mental health issues, a phrase so loaded it stopped the conversation dead in its tracks. Mental health struggles are real and deserve empathy, no question. But the timing of this disclosure, smack in the middle of a legal firestorm and right after leaks painted her as a terror on set, raised red flags. It didn't come via a candid interview or a thoughtful statement. It emerged as a legal maneuver, just as late-night hosts and social media piled on with mockery. Was this a genuine cry for understanding, or a slick pivot to flip the script from Blake the Bully to Blake the Broken? The move reframed the debate overnight. Suddenly, the focus shifted from her alleged misdeeds to whether the public was unfairly judging a woman in distress. Context is everything, and the backdrop to this revelation was brutal. Tabloids had been feasting on stories of Lively screaming at assistants, skipping photo ops, and showing up late to set with no explanation. Her America's sweetheart image was crumbling fast. Then, almost on cue, we learned she'd hired Nick Shapiro, a crisis PR guru with a past as deputy chief of staff at the CIA. This wasn't your average Hollywood spin doctor. This was a heavyweight used to managing national security secrets, now tasked with salvaging a celebrity implosion. Shapiro's involvement took the scandal to a new level. This was no longer about press releases and friendly interviews. It was a full-on information war. Headlines pivoted to Lively's role as a devoted mom, stories of her lifelong anxiety flooded tabloids, and critics were subtly recast as heartless bullies. It was a textbook psychological operation designed to tug at emotions and shift public perception. With Shapiro pulling strings, the narrative morphed from Blake's losing it to how dare we pile on a struggling woman. Even the most jaded observers had to marvel at the precision. It was like watching a chess grandmaster reposition every piece on the board. But can even a CIA-level strategist erase the damage of lawsuits, intimidation claims, and a flood of negative press? Lively's camp leaned hard into her fragility, but the cracks in her story were hard to ignore. Days after the mental health bombshell, she strutted onto the red carpet for A Simple Favor 2 in a stunning pink latex dress, radiating confidence and cracking jokes with reporters. The contrast was jarring. Where was the fragile star buckling under pressure? Critics pounced, arguing her poised demeanor, coupled with playful Instagram posts, was proof she was playing a role, not living a breakdown. To them, it was all smoke and mirrors, a distraction from the chaos she'd allegedly sown. Theories about Lively's mental state only deepened the intrigue. Some speculated she's a narcissist, drawing parallels to Amber Heard, whose own legal saga spotlighted diagnoses like histrionic personality disorder. Others pointed to Reynolds, suggesting his charm masks a darker edge, perhaps sociopathy, nestled under the umbrella of antisocial personality disorder. These armchair diagnoses, while speculative, fed into a broader narrative that Lively's behavior, from her alleged tantrums to her relentless pursuit of control, might stem from something diagnosable. Yet, as observers noted, a mental health condition doesn't absolve someone of accountability, it explains, but doesn't excuse. Take her history with director Reed Morano as a case in point. Years ago, Lively recounted stalking Morano to secure her for The Rhythm Section, a film she was obsessed with. She called Morano's agents, begged for a late-night meeting despite living 2 hours away, and spent hours pitching a script neither was initially hired for. It's a story she told with pride, but in hindsight, it's telling her determination borders on fixation, a trait that could hint at deeper issues or simply a star who thrives on control. Either way, it's a thread that weaves into the current mess, suggesting Lively's always played the game hard. Now, as lawsuits pile up and leaks threaten to spill more secrets, Hollywood watches with bated breath. Lively's peers have gone silent, a deafening hush that speaks volumes. Once a darling of the industry, she's now a lightning rod caught between victimhood and villainy. Her mask, crafted over years of red carpet charm and curated Instagram perfection, is slipping, and no amount of PR wizardry can fully mend the fractures. Is she a wronged woman fighting to hold it together, or a calculating force bending the narrative to her will? The truth might lie in the messy middle, locked away in NDAs and private deals we'll never see. One thing's for sure, this isn't the end. With legal battles looming, a fractured fan base, and the potential for more twists, Blake Lively's story is still unfolding. Whether it's a downfall or a reinvention, the next act promises to be as gripping and unpredictable as the last. In Hollywood, where reality and illusion blur, the only certainty is that the show goes on.